36. One is focused upon bhoga or worldly and sensory pleasure and enjoyments because of one's inability to distinguish Purusha or the collective soul, the true self, from the qualities of nature or Prakriti, including the highest and most noble quality of Sattva, calm, dynamism, for all such qualities bind the individual and soul or Jivatma with the material existence or Prakriti. As long as we are focused upon worldly pleasures, the pleasure of this body, and this is what is happening to us now. We have been educated in a very wrong manner. The Americans, one American at least, William James, he told us 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago. He was talking about transpersonal psychology, that your ego is not everything. And all the psychologists of the day, they rejected him, they refused him. And we chose Freud and Jung, where the basic understanding is that your ego is very precious. Your ego is very precious. If you lose your ego, you lose your identity. William James, who was in Calcutta, was studying about mysticism, Hindu mysticism and everything. He said, no, your ego is not your identity and you should lose it. So there are two different ways. And you'll be surprised, when I was studying this many years ago, I saw this same conflict between the teachings of Lao Tzu and Confucius. Lao Tzu and Confucius, both of them had this kind of thing. Lao Tzu is saying that, look, happiness is something else. Just because you have enough food, you have good job, you have good what, it is not happiness. You are far from happiness. Happiness is something else. Anand is something else. So this conflict has been going on repeatedly, from age to age. Now you'll be surprised. Transpersonal psychology, just Google it. It is the subject for PhD. What is the joke? You have Jung and Freud and the whole tribe, not only them, the whole tribe of psychologists, psychiatrists, all these people, you have the whole thing while you are doing your BSc, while you are doing your MSc. And then when you do PhD, they tell you, forget Jung, forget. Let's talk about transpersonal. Okay, if you are just psychologist, maybe you have not done much harm to society. But if you are a psychiatrist and you have got your wisdom, your knowledge, your science based on Jung and Freud, whatever, people may not agree with them. Ditto, not per se, not 100% agreeing with them, but the whole tribe is still existing. Everything we learn in psychology is based on the basic principles of Jung and Freud. So if you have been giving medication, if you have been giving medicine to people based on your knowledge that says ego should be held tight, you are doing a wrong thing. Let me give you an example. It's a very interesting example. I've been studying about this for last few days. ADHD, what is that? Attention Deficit Disorder something. Yeah? What is it? What is the H? Yeah? Hyperactive disorder. Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder. Yeah? Now, this is beautiful and very sad, very dangerous. How do you make money nowadays? You create a virus in any industry, whether it is technology, it is medicine, anything. You create a virus. And then you come up with solution. Okay? This is in every industry. Economy also same. Politics also same. You create a monster. You create a common enemy. And you make people believe that this is our enemy. And then you unite people and they follow you blindly. This is politics. Economy also can be like that. You create something, you create some metrics, and you say if you don't reach this, you are not successful. And people are following blindly to reach that to become successful. Viruses in our computer is same thing. Same. Now, if I am trying to sell you a medicine for ADHD, what should I do? I should make you believe that you are suffering from ADHD. And let me tell you what. If the matrix is used on each and every one of us, all of us who have taken even one selfie and put it on YouTube or Facebook or anyone is an ADHD patient. Because nobody is bothered about you, but you want to be known. Nobody is bothered about you. So if you use that matrix, that yardstick, everybody is suffering. And who is making money? All the social media. Because they are giving you a garbage bin. Okay, you are suffering from ADHD. Nobody is interested in you. Post your picture there. And then they create a virus. What is a virus? Likes. You want thumbs. And every second, minute you are watching, is there one more thumb? One more like? What is this? This is ADHD. And let me tell you, ADHD that is being treated is a very small, minor ADHD. Our ADHD is more serious. More serious. This is the kind of situation we are facing now. And we are all stuck, including me. All of us are stuck. All of us are stuck there. We have to find the solution. And we have to acknowledge first, look, this is a problem. This is a problem. Now, how to use that for something better? Patanjali is also trying to tell you that these conditions are there. Now, how to use? You cannot have control over these conditions. You cannot make a ruling from tomorrow morning that nobody should watch TV or nobody should use gadgets for social media. You cannot make this kind of ruling anymore. The satellite is there. You can, even if it is banned, you can still access it if you are clever enough. So you have to know how to make use of the wrong situation, the energy that is flowing in the wrong direction. How can you make it flow to the right direction to benefit you? And this is what he says, that you have to focus not on the enjoyment. He's not telling you that you stop eating, you stop enjoying your food. No. You enjoy your food, but the focus is not on the food. The focus is on what you get from the food, the collectivity, the Purusha, that it is because the soul needs this body to do something. So let me be a good boy, be a good girl, and give proper food, proper fuel to this body so that I can do my work properly. 37. Thence, by virtue of various practices as described in the previous sutras, is born the ability to hear, touch, see, taste, and smell intuitively. Let me tell you, all these things are good. When you hear it, you read it, beautiful, But if you start experiencing this, he is not taking the ability to hear, touch, see, taste, and smell. He is not saying that. He's not saying that you will develop the ability to test. I can taste mango better. I can touch this better. I can smell some fragrances better. He's not saying that. He's saying that you can develop the ability to smell and taste and touch intuitively. That means anybody sitting as far as he is or she is, I can smell you intuitively that you are not taking bath today. You have a big, huge problem. This is not something, people read this and they say, well, it is good, wonderful. Intuitively is that you can see all the blemishes within me. And when I talk, then you can see, oh, this guy is just making some stories, bullshit. Okay, I make him happy, good. Intuitively means you know exactly. And let me tell you, all the best-selling books, if you look at them intuitively, you'll be so disheartened. It will spoil your mood. It will spoil your taste. If you feel it intuitively, you know that most people writing about meditation have not been meditating. They don't know what meditation is. I'm reading a book, bestseller, for 20 odd weeks. Bestseller. And this book is written by a neurosurgeon. But when I read this book, I know that this man does not know meditation. He knows about concentration. What do? I cannot beat him in the game. I cannot force my books to be put on the bestsellers list. It is not possible. It is not possible. How many of us, when I was doing garment business, we had a line. I was working with somebody. We had a line for fashion garments. Very expensive. Very expensive. And they don't even want to tell us that who are the end buyers. The garments are shipped to some warehouses and there they do the labeling. We were doing labeling for Levi's, we were doing labeling for many other garments. They will give us order and they'll tell us that this from Levi's, this from this, this from this, this from this. We put all the labels. But the high-end garments, very expensive garments, they don't allow us to put labels. The buyer is not from Europe. The buyer is not from America. The buyer is somebody sitting in Hong Kong with a small office. And he has no warehouse. He is just the buyer. He's paying us money. All these garments are going where? We don't know. And finally being sold in which boutique? We don't know. But we know they are being sold in boutique. So these garments are not like bulk items. Those of you who come from the West, the flannel shirt, right? The flannel shirt. Now the flannel shirt are all check shirt. And they are cheap items. $24 a dozen we would sell. In America, they'll sell it for $8 a piece. $9 a piece. But that's cheap. Okay? They have their own marketing and production cost and everything. So we sell this $2 a piece. It lands up there and you have to pay $8.99. They put $9.99. They don't put $10, $9.99. Okay. So you pay $10 for that shirt. Now these shirts, you are getting order like 10,000 dozens a month. And you can pile up your stock because those shirts are there for winter. So you can pile up the stock, you can keep on producing, and you can keep on selling and sending the goods, And there's a joke that our tailors, those who are sewing the garments, they can simply close their eyes and the garment will be, the cloth will be turned to garment in no time because they know exactly what to do, what not to do. Of course, they don't close their eyes, But that was a joke. That you can just close your eyes, I can make this garment. These garments are easy. But those garments Only 100 pieces, 150 pieces, 200 pieces. And each piece is numbered. This is piece number so and so. And then they told us, okay, now you cannot make these garments in the same factory. You have to have a new factory. A small factory just for our garments, Similarly, these kind of things cannot go into New York Times bestseller because they want to feel happy. You read a book, you must feel happy. This man is making us depressed. He says that you have not done anything. You have to do something. You have not been meditating. You have just been addressing your mind. You don't know where the mind is sprouting from. And the bestsellers are saying, no, you have your mind, you have your brain, you eat these 3 superfoods. Everything will be all right. But today I was sent a clip, a very nice clip, by a neurosurgeon also. He is saying all these superfood supplementing, all nonsense. All nonsense because the basic thing, he says, is your stress level, your sleep, and discipline in your life. All these 3. Otherwise, superfood, everything is nonsense. It's not going to help you. This is all marketing. Because when you want to produce a certain medicine, you still have to have some research. Some research nowadays, namesake research. But okay, at least there is some research. But if you want to make supplement, you don't have to have any research. You're not guaranteeing anything. You're not saying anything. So no research. No research. And so all this knowledge, all this wisdom is a boutique wisdom, boutique knowledge. It cannot go to the masses because masses are not even interested in these things. 38. However, in the state of Vyuthana, when the mind is still focused outward upon the material existence, material comforts, and sensory pleasures, all these siddhis or accomplishments can become obstacles in the attainment of true samadhi or full enlightenment. Here is the warning. All these things I've been telling you about, you can achieve that, you can attain that, but all these can be obstacles. There was a great master. He was alcoholic. Many people don't like him. Chogyam Trungpa. He was alcoholic and he died in an accident while he was drunk. He was one of those mad masters, But he knew what was happening to us. He knew what was happening to us. He said that our major problem nowadays, and he was living in the United States, is spiritual materialism. We are all basically materialistic, but we have given a wrapping of spirituality, wrapping of yoga, wrapping of meditation. Different wrapping of this, wrapping of that, wrapping of ascension, of avatar, of blah, 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 blah. He warned us back in 1980s, I think. He died in 1980s, if I'm not mistaken. 80s or 90s, early 90s. He said that this is going to be the biggest problem in the West, spiritual materialism. It is materialism, but we are giving a garb of spirituality. But now he did not live long enough to see that now we are a global village. Whatever is happening in the West in those days is happening in the East. You just look around in Ubud, just look around in Mumbai, India, any part of Asia. Everywhere is spiritual materialism. It is no more spirituality. So he says, if you are going for all these things, then you'll miss the goal, you'll miss the whole purpose. Because the purpose is true samadhi. The real, genuine equanimity, and that leads us to the final stage of moksha, where we are not attached to anything. You are serving people, you are loving people wholeheartedly, but you are not attached. enough for today.